Okay. Welcome to the Money Momentum Money Momentum Challenge Day 1. Now, to get started, I'm going to show you, but we're gonna do this together. I'm gonna show you, or rather, you're gonna show yourself the truth behind your spending, right? A way you can look at it is as it pertains to money habits and developing a money momentum. Before you can fix your finances, you need to see the truth, right? Before you get to a destination, whatever destination that is for you, however finances play into that, right? Finances aren't the goal. You have a goal, and finances play a role in supporting that goal. We need to shine a light on where the money is going, right? There's no judgment or anything, right? It's just a piece of paper, a pencil, facts, right? We keep it on paper and we deal with what's on the paper, right? We don't take our emotions and put it on the paper. We just list the things that we're gonna have to deal with and then adjust accordingly so that we can start building that momentum. We can start the snowball. Right? Now, we're gonna jump right into it. There's really no fluff behind it, right? Money momentum challenge. The whole idea is to build momentum on the best practices as it pertains to our money, right? And if we don't currently invest, how can we take that money that we're now getting back out of our unconscious habits? How do we take that money and how do we repurpose it towards that goal of investing? Right? That's the goal today. Okay. So at the top of the paper, we're going to write 3 categories: fixed, variable, and unnecessary. Right. The first thing we're going to do is look at our expenses. We're not going to look at how much money we're making until we learn about the amount of money that we have going out. Right. The amount of money we're making it really doesn't matter because you could be making 10 grand. If 12 grand is going out, you'd realize you've been surviving on 2 grand of credit. Right. So let's find out where the money is, like how the money's leaving first. It's like, picture it this way. The amount of money you're earning currently is like the boat, right? You're setting the sail to where you want to go. You have this nice boat. If it's 10 grand, it's a super nice boat. If it's 2 grand, it might not be as nice of a boat, but you have a boat here. What determines your ability to get to a destination is not the boat, right? It's the continuity of the boat and the set of the sails. The set of the sails is the mindset that we're working on today. It's the mindset. It's the philosophy. It's the mission. The boat itself is a physical thing that's taking you there. However, the boat itself doesn't matter if there's holes in the boat. You could have a beautiful boat and you're stuck on land because it has huge holes in it. Your sails could be set perfectly towards where you want to go, but you have holes in the boat and you cannot take off. Right. So let's make our boat strong and have a solid foundation and has continuity all the way around. And we're not realizing along the way, after we set sail, we're not realizing along the way that we have these little drips coming out. Okay. So first thing, let's drop the camera down to the paper. Not sure if you can see this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to list expenses. So the first expenses are fixed. And I'll flip this around in a second. We have our fixed expenses. We have our variable expenses. And then we have our unnecessary. Is there one N? Let's find out. Okay. So we have our fixed expenses, our variable expenses, and then we have our unnecessary expenses. Now, the way we can look at it is this way. Fixed expenses are expenses that they're not going to change. You could make adjustments to them, but you have to make them. So one example of that is, rent or the mortgage. Another example of that is electric or utilities, right? Utilities, and we're talking like electricity or light. We'll just go light. Electricity is a bigger word. Light. This doesn't look nice now. Light, gas, etc. Water. Um, Another fixed expense is your car insurance. Now the beautiful thing is you can switch providers to lower this. Go back in bed. Go back to sleep. Yeah. You can switch providers to lower this, but it's not really going to change. You have to pay it. It may go up or down, but you have to pay it. Car insurance, car note, right? Maybe your phone bill, and then maybe internet. So as you can see, the average person, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you guys can kind of see it here. All right. The average person, the average person already has several things that they can't avoid paying. And this probably doesn't exhaust the list, right? If you have children, you have child care here, right? All right. So this is already a long list. We haven't gotten here yet, but we want to consider, what does this list look like? Because it should be like a cone, right? It should be like a cone. Picture this and this. Okay. Right. The majority of our expenses should be on the fixed side. Now, it doesn't mean it needs to be this long, because if you are like me, right? If you want to, it doesn't need to be this long, but the cone is beneficial for us, right? And I'll draw it again, a reverse pyramid. So we've got the cone here, right? This here should be small relative to fixed expenses. Unnecessary should be the smallest, right? If at all. But we're human. We're human. We're gonna have unnecessary expenses. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're doing this at all. So what are some variable expenses? Variable expenses are like your things that you pay for, that you feel are necessary at times, or necessary, but you don't need to. Like, if you stop paying them, there wouldn't be a huge disruption in your life, to the point that you wouldn't be able to function. I don't know how to really explain, like internet. In this day and age, internet is almost a necessity, right? Not all the time, because if you have a phone, if you have a cell phone, you're paying a phone bill, you don't need internet in your home, right? In theory, you can go home and still function and still do your job and take care of your children and all that stuff if you have a phone, right? So you don't need it, internet. But most of us find it quite useful in what we do things. So I put internet here. What else? Everything else? Yeah, you're really not going to get rid of. Phone bill. You don't need a phone. You're not going to die. However, to function in most areas of society nowadays, you need to have some form of communication. So, phone. Even if you work in a job where, you work a 9 to 5 and you go home, um, there's some, I don't know if it's legislation. I don't know. I just remember coming across it that they want to make it, I guess, illegal, or maybe employers would have to pay or something if you were contacted outside of work hours. But let's say you're at home, somebody calls out of a shift. Now that space is opened up and you need the extra money. If you don't have a phone, someone can't call you to offer you to pick up the shift, right? They can't call and offer you the job, right? You'd have to be by a phone all day, like a payphone or a friend's phone, or wherever you can get called. I guess so there's some challenges that happen when you don't have a phone. So, and this is America. This is not the rest of the whole world. I'm just speaking strictly in America. Okay, so let's move on. Variable expenses now. Let's say subscriptions are easy. Subscriptions. Let's go memberships. So we'll go memberships like a gym membership. Even like a Costco membership. Right? Now I had to just gym, etc. I had a membership to BJ's. It was $120 a year because I have the BJ's credit card. You get like 5% cash back and and you earn like points and stuff. But I go to BJ's maybe once every 6 months, once a quarter max. But once every 6 months or so, maybe I'll get paper towel. Well, I wouldn't even say 6 months. I don't think those last that long. But maybe once every 3 months, I'd get paper towels and toilet paper because you can buy in bulk. I'd get white vinegar. I'd get white vinegar. I'd get flushable toilet paper wipes, flushable wipes. There's things I would buy in bulk that I'm not concerned about super high quality, right? They do have quality stuff there, but most of the things that we shop for, we go to Whole Foods. Or if we need things but we don't need quantity, we'll go to Target. So I cut that BJ's membership, and although I do not enjoy going into Costco for anything, I get the gas. But getting rid of that's $60 a year, Costco. So getting rid of the BJ's membership, although it's more convenient because it's not as busy, it saves me money. That was a variable expense. That was a membership. So I cut that probably, I think 2 days ago. Just cut it. Had to get rid of it. Okay, subscriptions, memberships. What else? Variable eating out. I'm not going to put that as unnecessary because sometimes I would say it's both. I would say eating out is definitely both. Sometimes you need to, sometimes you don't. But eating out is a variable expense. Gas is something you have to get. So not getting gas is not really an option unless you're like EV, but then you got to charge, right? So you have to pay for that. So it doesn't really matter. But the idea of gas is it is variable. T. It's variable because it can change. There's a larger fluctuation in the change over time. So you can pay $40 this month. You can pay $100 this month, depending on how much travel you're doing. If you're just going to and from work, or are you doing trips on the weekends? Maybe after work you drive, here or there, or your off days you doing this. So the gas can change. Generally, you'll have a range that you're spending on gas each month, but it's a variable expense. And then maybe, let's say you go, you're not working for you off for a week. Maybe your gas drops just dramatically. Little things like that. But it's a variable expense, but it's one of those things that it's variable, but you do have to pay it. But it's something that you can really have an effect on how much you spend to a degree. I'm trying to think of one other variable expense. But you understand the idea, right? I think we've spent enough time on that. The idea is that the variable expenses are costs that change month to month. Oh, I forgot. You have to eat. I forgot groceries. Groceries are like gas, right? Groceries are like gas in that you have to get it. You have to eat. But it can change. Like if you shop at Whole Foods versus if you shop at Sprouts versus if you shop at Aldi's or Publix, right? Or ShopRite, your groceries can change based on where you shop. It can change on what you buy. It can change on what you eat. That same thing? What you buy, what you eat. Yeah. So it can change on your diet, right? Are you eating mostly meat, or are you eating mostly veggies? Right. That's going to change your budget. That's going to change how much money you're spending. Right. And so yeah, let's go through it now, and let's take a look again. Let's look at unnecessary expenses. Now, unnecessary expenses could equal, unnecessary or like brand clothing, right? Branded clothing. Now, all clothing has a brand. All of them, even Walmart has a brand. But we're talking about buying a Louis Vuitton T-shirt versus like a regular like Hanes or Fruit of the Loom. I don't know if they make T-shirts anymore, but or a regular T-shirt. That's what where they're getting, you know, the slip proof Nike shoes, or the black slip shoes from Walmart, right? Like say you work at Dunkin' Donuts, you buy work shoes. You can get them from anywhere. You just need slip proof, and black shoes. Because I used to work at Dunkin' Donuts, but you can get a brand. Like you really spend money on work shoes. As a nurse, are you getting super fancy nursing shoes? Are you getting comfortable shoes that are low cost that you can walk around in all day comfortably? As a teacher, same thing. As a teacher, are you getting comfortable shoes you can walk around in, or are you getting fancy shoes? And does the fit, like, do the fancy shoes meet your budget? Right. So branded clothing is one. Let's say we'll put memberships here again. Unnecessary. Let's put memberships here again. And this could be this kind of the same thing. If you have a gym membership that you don't use, that's unnecessary. Let's say you have a membership to having season tickets, right? Having season tickets to a sports team. Well, if you're, we all have our pleasures in life, but are your pleasures here and also here? And do they need to be? Do you need to have all the subscriptions? Do you need to have every single subscription? And do you have to go to that basketball game, right? All the home games. Do you have to have every subscription and also go to all the concerts, right? The music concerts. Like, do you need to eat out 3 or 4 times a week and also wear the finest clothes? Like these two here. Now, this is a separate thing. I mean, if you are in a home, I know this happened. I will just explain it. This happened. I closed my finger inside of a chair at the beach like a month ago, and it started off down here, and the bruising has like spread higher. It's doing the opposite of what I thought it would do, which was go away. It's spreading, which is doesn't hurt or anything. It's just kind of weird. Um, but do you need to play around in both of these? And here, really, I mean, do you need, what type of car do you need based on your lifestyle? What type of phone do you need? Like we can put down here, right? Phone upgrade. Now I have a 12, an iPhone 12, and I don't pay a phone bill, and I function perfectly fine. Literally, have all the apps that you have. I function perfectly fine. I'm not, I don't have. There's no dial tone. It's not like. So, do you need an iPhone 17, and also do you need the Louis Vuitton T-shirt? Is the question, and the word is need, right? The word we're looking at is need, right? Do we need these things? And it's not a matter of like this sacrifice where life is totally unbearable, right? I tell you, I don't have I have a phone plan that I pay for, but I don't pay for my phone. My phone is paid off. I don't pay for a car, right? My car is paid off. I wish my light bill wasn't so high. That's okay though. But my rent, light bill, car insurance is minimal because I don't have a lien. I don't owe the bank any money, so my car insurance is lower. My phone bill is just a plan. I don't owe the phone. My internet, I've switched before, and if they raise my plan, I'll switch again. Because my job is to keep, even though these two are smaller, right? Even though these are staples and these are small, I want to keep these small too. But gas, groceries. My grocery bill is high because we eat very healthy, right? We're eating whole foods, um, and we're very particular about grass fed, grass finished, organic, pasture raised. We're very particular about that, and we're very particular about eating high quality food. What we're putting into our bodies to be high quality. So our gas expenses, I mean, our grocery expenses are quite high, but we don't marry that with the need to dress in branded clothing all the time. We don't dress that with the need to have the newest shoes, the newest phone, the newest, season tickets to this sports team, or every single subscription. Could we afford every single subscription? Of course. But the question is, why would we have every single subscription plus eat at the, because then if I want to go out to eat, but my money's tied up in subscriptions. If I want to invest, but my money's tied up in that gym that I don't go to. If I want to, like, it's a matter of balance and deciding with yourself. One, making sure the unnecessary stuff stays small, right? Making sure the unnecessary stuff stays small, right? Managing the variables, and making sure the fixed ones are foundational, right? Making sure those are foundational. If you have to have, and you do, because we're humans, like I said, I like to eat out. I love to eat out, boy. I love to eat. I don't even say eat out. If the food was in, I love to eat. If the food was in, I would eat in. So I don't. It doesn't matter. I love to eat. But it's about marrying your expenses and make sure you're in a healthy marriage, right? You're not trying to splurge on all three when you don't have an investment foundation, right? We are in this community. I'm sorry if this dragged on a little long. We're in this community because we see the value of investing, or we want to see the value of investing. You could simply keep everything the same make more money, use all the excess money you make from now on, get a second job, use that entire paycheck to invest. And I think that's a beautiful thing. However, part of the the boat having a solid foundation with no holes is part of it. But the set of the sail is our mindset, right? How the sails on the boat, or if it can not motorize, right? Wind. The set of the sail is important. The way we angle our mindset towards where we want to go. If you kept all of these holes in your boat and simply made more money, got a bigger boat, made more money, the boat would eventually sink. Right now, we're talking more, maybe more, um, you know, greater mass, greater length, bigger sails. Maybe you make it a little bit further out to sea, but if you don't change your mindset around the foundations of your habits, your money habits, the boat will eventually sink. So our goal is to make sure that even if our boat is not massive, that the foundation is solid, and so is our mindset. That boat will never sink. Now, it might not be as fast as the bigger boats, but your boat will never sink. And it's a matter of longevity. It's a matter of right thinking, right? Because if you're investing $10 a month and they're investing $100 a month, and they get, or they invest $1,000 a month or whatever, and let's say they get to a jackpot first, man, they really hit it on the head. And now they're sitting on this cash. Guess what? Their expenses will balloon because they never learned the skills that we're talking about in the Money Momentum Challenge. Their expenses, now they have all this money, they will balloon. Because more times than not, people's expenses rise to the level of their income incrementally. That's why people feel like they need more money. Even when they're making more money every year people feel like they need more money because their expenses are rising with their income. Our goal here is to say, no, let's build momentum on the money increase side, but at the same time, let's build reverse momentum. Let's work backwards on our habits and our expenses so that as our income increases, so does our margin, right, of accessible capital increasing as we decrease our expenses and build a solid foundation while also still enjoying your life. Well, like I said, I get to eat out still. We still have subscriptions. We still can go to a concert, go to a game, take a flight, whatever. We went apple picking this past weekend in New Jersey. So that's the goal here. So that was 30 minutes at 5 in the morning. This is day one. Good luck out there.